Hi, good evening, all of you guys. Hope all of you can hear me. Yeah, guys, can anyone please confirm, guys, is I'm audible? Hello. Yeah, guys, fine. Yeah, thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thanks for the confirmation. So, guys, in the last session, due to some technical reason, so we are unable to take the session. It is due to the audio setting, actually, some problem with my audio. Right, guys. So, guys, let's continue from the last session, guys. So, in the last session, we have been got discussed something about the what we can say is we have been got discussed about how to work with the which is going to be what is the basic introductory part of the Python we have been discussing, guys. Like as I have been told about that, which is going to be something like what we can say is the features, a little bit features of Python I have been got discussed. Like it is a general purpose language. So why it is going to be that much easy for to learn it actually, guys. As I told you, Python is going to be comes with a lot of packages. It's going to be like a lot of libraries, or we can say a lot of the things are going to be something like, I can say that it is going to comes with a lot of modules actually, guys. So what is a module? I told you, module is going to be nothing but which comes with a set of functions we are going to get it actually, guys. So Python is going to be, it's a very simple application actually, guys. So learning a Python is going to be nothing but it is almost all like calling a function only, guys. Just we have to call a function. So for every operation you want to do, there is a function will be there. You have to just call the function. You need not to write any functional code. Everything is going to be calling a function. I'll make a little bit clear later. As of now, it is not required actually, guys. So Python is going to be a little bit object-oriented programming style. It is actually an object-oriented style of programming. But anyhow, I'm going to I'm going to be discussing about that actually. Yes, I'll discuss about that. So basically, the idea here is working with Python is all about just calling a function actually, guys. It is going to be just there is a function will be there. Just we have to call the function. Apart from that, nothing is going to be gets required actually, guys. So these functions are going to be comes along with some packages, along with some modules. It is going to comes. So the only thing we have to check is which function is going to be, which package provides you which functions. So the package is going to be comes with a the package is going to be comes with the functions. So which function we have to use for which function we have to use which package actually, guys. As I told you, there is going to be some kind of the functions we are going to be using. So I've shown you some kind of a functions also actually, guys. I've shown you some kind of a functions. I have been got shown you about that. So little bit ideas about what are the different functions are going to be there. So just a little bit idea. So just import the package, import that particular module, and we have to just work with that particular function actually, guys. So apart from that, nothing is going to be there. Directly straightforward, we are going to be working with them, guys. Okay. So that's it. That is going to be how we have been got working with that kind of an applications actually. So now we have to do this. What we have to do is, guys, we have to just install the Python actually. So that is so what we have to discuss is we have to install some kind of a functions actually. We have to install the Python. So from where you have to install the Python actually, guys. So Python, once again, if you just recollect once, what are the main features I told you, which is going to be nothing but Python is going to be which is going to be a general purpose language, guys. It is going to be a general purpose language. And the second one is going to be nothing but I told you some of the features actually, guys. So I told you about some history about the Python. So how that particular Python came into existence. So the Awesome who has been the writer of this particular Python. So how he has been got inspired. Some examples I have been got discussed about them. So about that particular history. So where it was started and all these things. And apart from that, I told you about that, which is going to be one of the feature we can say is no need to do any declaration of variables. Directly, we can just directly use the variables, which is the feature is what we are going to call it as a dynamically typed language. So that feature is going to be nothing but what we call it as a dynamically typed language. No need to declare the variables actually, guys. Like that, I have been discussed about some kind of a features we have been discussed about that. It's a dynamically typed language actually, guys. So these are the some of the things we have been discussed, and I told you about the features. The features are going to be nothing but I said that batteries are included actually, guys. So what is this meaning of batteries are going to be included? Batteries are going to be included means, so the Python is going to comes with a lot of built-in packages and built-in modules will come. So ready to use, directly we can work with the functions actually, guys. No need to write any code. Directly we can just call the functions. We have to just import the packages, that whatever the libraries or whatever the modules are there, import it and we can directly work with them. So that is one of the thing what I have been got discussed about this particular application, guys. Fine. So anyhow, later we are going to discuss about how to import that particular packages and all these things. Later we'll discuss about that particular applications. Now, as of now. So from where we have to download, where we have to install this particular Python. The first thing is where we have to install the Python. It's an open source actually, guys. One of the feature, another feature, if you want to talk about that, it is an open source. Directly the Python gives you the code directly, guys. Python directly gives you the code. No need to write any particular. That means it's not a commercial product actually. So if you require any changes, we can directly modify the code. Whatever the code you want to modify, you can directly modify the code. It's not like your Microsoft or some other thing. Microsoft is a commercial product actually. So if you want to make any changes, the Microsoft has to do the changes and we have to get the changes. But normally we cannot directly make any changes directly to the Microsoft products because they are not open sources. But Python is going to be not like this, guys. Python is going to be an open source language. So directly they will give the source code. You can easily, it is a free to use and it is going to be free to distribute it also actually, guys. So no need to pay any license for that. So free to use. And also which is going to be nothing but free to distribute it also, guys. You can distribute it actually. They are called as, if you distribute it, it is called as a Python distribution, what we are going to call it as actually. So that is about some of the features if we talk about them actually, guys. And one more thing is actually, if I talk about the features, it is going to follow an object-oriented style actually, guys. So it is going to follow some advantages of our object-oriented style. So due to the object-oriented style also actually, guys, the coding is going to become simplified actually. So lengthy codes need not to write like a procedural languages. In object-oriented style programming, guys, the coding part is going to be, compared with the procedural languages, it is going to be very small coding. That means less coding is going to be required actually, guys. That is what we can talk about them. So like this, we have some lot of features actually. It is going to be an interpreted based language. If I talk about the features, so many features actually there is. It is going to be interpreted based language. So no need to write like a bunch of statements actually, guys. Directly, you can write a single statement at a time. Directly statement by statement, we can just run the code actually, guys. Really don't require to write a bunch of lines of code like other programming languages. So like C, C++, no need to write a bunch of lines of program. Directly, we can just write it's just a single statement, whatever you want to do, we can do it actually, guys. So that is what we have been got discussed as part of the this particular Python code actually. And the official website of Python is going to be downloaded from www. which is going to be, I can say python.org actually, guys. It is not python.com, guys. It is going to be python.org is the official website from where you can download the Python code actually, guys. That is going to be the official code of that. So it is an open source actually, guys. That's why .org. If it is a commercial, it is going to be dot, which is going to be nothing but what we'll generally say is, which is going to be dot, what we can say is, it is going to be .com will come. But here it is not .com. It is going to be .org is going to be the extension. If you see the code also actually, guys, if you see that particular, the code, which is going to be www. which is going to be python.org, it's not a commercial website actually, guys. It's not going to be a commercial website actually. So we can see something like this actually, guys. Open the python.org. You can see it's not a commercial website also. So you can see something like, it looks like just like a blog. It is going to be looks like actually, guys. It does not even looks like an commercial website. It just looks like something like a blog. It is going to looks like actually, guys. That is what we can see within applications. isn't it? So download whatever the software you require, whatever the software you require. So 3.10.4 is the latest version actually, guys. It is going to be 10.3.4. 3.10.4 is the latest version actually, guys. So download that particular Python for the Windows. Even not only for Windows, even for Mac or any other platforms also we can download it actually, guys. So download this. It's a very small, hardly it is around some not even 30 MB space. It's not even 30 MB space, guys. It's a lightweighted Python actually. Because here when you download this, it is going to comes with only the base Python system will come actually, guys. It does not comes with all the supportive systems of the Python actually. Only some kind of an base system will come. After that, we have to add up the environment as you require it actually. Normally, a base system will be downloaded actually, guys, which is going to be just www.python.org. So already I install it actually, guys. So once if you install, you are going to get the Python something like this actually. You can see the Python here, guys. So you can see here now Python, which is going to be 3.10. So which we can see the 3.10 version, what we can find it of actually. So whenever we want to write a Python code, where to write it? The first question is where to write the Python code actually. Generally nowadays, as of now, you have got an very, that means we have been almost all in any language we use, we are going to be using the IDEs actually, guys. So which language you want to use? Whenever you are learning a language, before learning the language only, we are trying to find out which IDE we have to use for writing this particular Python code, or which IDE we have to use for writing this particular Java code. Always the people are looking for related to some IDEs actually. So first we are looking at IDE, and after that we are starting learning that particular code, that particular language actually. Now coming to the Python IDEs, I'll talk about the IDEs later actually. That means we'll talk a little bit more about the IDEs later. So as of now, guys, there are so many IDEs are there in Python. Like we are having a PyCharm, or we are going to be having something like an PyCharm, or we are going to be having like a Spider. We are going to be having a Spider. We are having a Jupyter notebook. So we are having a Jupyter. Like this, we are going to be having a multiple IDEs are there. But as of now, I'm not using all these things actually, guys. VS Code, like this, we are going to be having so many things are there. So those are going to be a little bit, that means advanced level programming we are going to use. But as of the timing, I am going to be using a very simple IDE, which comes along with this particular base system. Whenever we install the base system, that is going to be what we are going to call it as an IDLE. It is IDLE, it's not IDEL. It is going to be IDLE actually, guys, IDLE, which is going to be IDLE, what we call it as. Now coming to this particular IDLE actually, guys, so it is a very, basically for beginners, we are going to use them actually, guys. Generally for beginners, we recommend them actually. Beginners means who are going to be started with the Python recently. So for those kind of people, we are going to be prefer this. Particular IDLE, what generally we are going to be using actually, guys. So I'm going to be using this. It comes along with your base Python system. No need to install it separately. It is going to comes along with your base Python system only. It is going to comes actually, guys. So we can see them, guys. You can see it actually, guys. You can clearly see that. So whenever I install that particular Python, you can see some kind of an applications, what we can see here now. So I install that, which is going to be, I install that particular Python, whatever we can see here. So inside the Python application, you can see it actually, guys. There is one option, what we are going to call it as the IDLE, what we can see with an application, guys. Open this IDLE. Just open the IDLE actually, guys. It is going to be just a console based application actually, guys. It just like a Python prompt will come. So maybe my version maybe is little bit, yeah, it is 3.10.4 only, the latest version. I think recently only I have been got installed 3.10.4, right? It's the latest version is going to be 3.10.4. Yeah. So that version only, guys. 3.10.4 is a version what we can see with an application, guys. The version is going to be latest version only. It's not a big problem at all, whether it is 3.10 or 3.10.2 or 3.10.4. So it does not matter. Only the build version has been slightly changed, but the major version is going to be the same version only, guys. The version is going to be the same version as it is actually. So that is going to be not a big thing at all, guys. So you can work with them. So you can see there is going to be something like what we can see is a Python prompt has been came actually. This is a Python prompt, guys. Just straightforward, whatever you want to do, we can do it actually, guys. You need not to write any functional code. What exactly you want to do, just you have to write that particular code actually, guys. Just write the code. Just we have to write the code, and whatever you want to work, we can just work with an application actually, guys. That's it. Apart from that, nothing is going to be there actually, guys. Apart from nothing is going to be there. So how I'm going to be gets working with them? How I'm going to be gets working with them, guys? So once if you have a look into this, once if we have a look into this application actually, guys. So what we are going to be doing this actually. Now have a look at this one. So this is going to be what we can say is, so before going to that, so just we can write whatever the code you want to write. You can just write down that particular code. Simply whatever the code you want to write, you can just write that particular code. So I'm just going to write a simple applications only. I'm not going to write a complicated work. A simple application is going to be what we are going to be writing actually, guys. So to write a simple applications, I'm going to be just using some of the basic, normally just like a basic operators only I'm going to be using, guys. So first we'll try to perform just like in other languages we do it now. So simple arithmetic operators we'll use it actually, guys. It's very simple. I need not to write a program or I need not to write any code actually, guys. Simply I'm going to write some kind of an arithmetic operators. Normally with any language, that means normally we in almost in every language we are having this kind of an operators actually. In every language we are going to be using this operators actually, guys. Like we are going to be using so normal arithmetic operators, like we are going to be having addition, we are having a subtraction, and we are going to be having a multiplication, and we are going to be having a division actually, guys. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, these are going to be the common. These are going to be this common with any kind of a data types actually, in any kind of a languages. It's not only with the Python, with any kind of a languages we can use it actually, guys. Python provides you a little bit. That means Python provides you a little bit additional features are going to be gets provided actually. Python basically provides a little bit additional features are going to be gets provided actually, guys. So what are those particular additional features actually? What are going to be nothing but the additional features what we are going to be talking about that. It is going to be nothing but normally it is going to be a double star. Double star is going to be nothing but what we can call it as an exponential. Normally in other languages, we don't have it actually, guys. So all languages does not support, very few languages are going to be supported actually. It is going to be nothing but an exponential actually, guys, power, whatever we are going to call it as. And after that, we are going to be having, because we know the option actually, guys. Like in some other languages. So whenever we talk about the other languages, for example, whenever I said, which is going to be I equals to 10 by, let us say 3. So whether to capture, which is going to be 3.33, or whether you want to capture 3, 10 by 3 is going to be nothing but 3.33, or whether it is 3. So whenever we want to capture it, it depends on the data type here. If it is an integer, it will capture 3. If it is a float, it is going to capture 3.33 actually. So depending on this data type, we are going to decide it actually, guys. Depending on this data type, we are going to choose us actually. So we can decide whether it will really take 3 or whether it will take really 3.33. But as part of our programming language, that means as part of our Python, we know that Python does not support any data types. We know that the Python does not support, not Python does not support. Python is a dynamically typed language. So we need not to specify any data type for that. We need not to specify any data types for them actually, guys. No need to specify what kind of a data type it is. We need not to specify. Then how the Python comes to know whether it is, whenever I said I equals to 10 by 3. So whether to take it as a 3.33 or whether it is going to be nothing but whether it is going to be 3 actually. So it does not decide that. That's why here we have a separate option is there. This division, whatever this particular division is there, normally just like in other languages, it captures the decimal point, the floating point division. it is going to be nothing but a floating point division. It is going to be so it is a floating point division actually, guys. But if you want to capture only the integer part, then simply we are going to be using an option, what we are going to call it as a double forward slash actually, guys. It is going to be nothing but a double forward slash what we are going to be using. So a single forward slash, and which is going to be nothing but the single forward slash and double forward slash. So it is going to be the way which we are going to be gets working. So difference is nothing but if you use a single forward slash, it is going to be nothing but what we can say that it captures a floating point. It captures a floating point. Whenever we have been use a double forward slash, it is going to be captures only the integer part actually. So some people call it as an integer point, the integer division, some people call it as. Some people are also going to call it as n, which is going to be floor division also they call it as actually, guys. Generally, floor division is nothing but they call it as a floor division actually, guys. In mathematics, we are having something like rounding, you know it, no? Same as it is floor, we have it actually, guys. Normally, we know what is round off 12.456. 12.456 round it, if I round it off, it will goes to 12 actually. If it is 12.556, it goes to the 13 actually. If it is less than half, it comes to 12. If it is more than half, it goes to 13 actually. Whereas whenever we talk about the floor, whether it is going to be more than, that means whether it is going to be more than 12.5 or whether it is less than 12.5, or even if it is 12.99 and also floor of which is going to be floor of 12.556 or not 12.556. Even if it is 12.999 also, the result is going to be coming like a 12 only. So it is nothing but just like it captures only the integer part only. It captures only the integer part only. It is going to be pix actually, guys. Simple to say that. Actually, it is going to be what we are going to call it as a flooring. That's why we are going to call this as n, which is going to be the floor division, what we are going to call it as actually, guys. That is what we are going to call it as a floor division. So if I said which is going to be I equals to 10 by 3, the result of I is going to be nothing but some 3.33 will be coming as an output. Whereas whenever I said I equals to 10 divided by 3, a floor division, then it is going to be nothing but the result is going to be just only 3 actually, guys. So by using some operators, we are going to change what the output is going to be there. In other languages, it is not like that. Depending on the data type, we are going to choose this actually. It depends on the data type actually, guys. What data type we are going to be choosing. So if you are assigning it to a float, it captures the float. If you are assigning to the string, if you are assigning to an integer, it is going to be it captures the integer part actually. Like that, we are going to be gets working with this kind of an applications. What we can talk about them, guys. This is what about. This is all about how we are going to be working with this particular operators. So for this, you need not to write any code directly. It is going to be nothing but no need to write any particular code. Directly, what we can do is just you can directly perform the operation directly, guys. 10 plus 20, you really need not to write any particular code. 10 minus 20, you no need to write any code. Just write that particular function and directly the output is going to be gets coming actually, guys. Okay, so that's it. That is going to be what we can do is, so now you see directly I'm just performing the operations actually, guys. You need not to write a single line of code also. Even you need not to write a print statement. It is going to be some just directly an interactive way of execution. Just you say 10 plus 20 result will be coming. 10 minus 20. So which is going to be 10 multiplied by 20. And this is going to be 10, which is going to be divided by 3 actually, guys. You can see clearly. 3.3333 is an output. When I do the same example by 10 divided by 3, that is a floor division. We can see something like n. The outcome is going to be nothing but 3 is an output. So it is not doing any rounding off actually, guys. If I said, if I said 20 divided by 3, so normally 20 divided by 3 means 6.667. But when I said 20 divided by 3 means it is going to be just the 6 is an output, what it will captures. It takes only integer value. Even it is 6.999 also, the outcome is going to be this value only actually, guys. Right. So that's it. That is going to be about whatever the value. For example, if I said 999 divided by which is going to be 100, 9.99. If I said 9, it's almost all equivalent to 10. But divided by if I said 100, we are going to get, sorry. Yeah. it's going to be 9 only. It is going to capture. Even if it is 9.99 also, it is going to be not equivalent to 10. It is going to be taking it as only 9 is an output only what it is going to be taking it actually, guys. So like this, that is a way how we can just work with this kind of an applications actually. So whenever I do the exponential, so if we do the exponential, it is going to becomes nothing but the exponential operator. Just it is going to be double star, which is going to be treated as an exponential. Simply we can see something like this, what we can see that. For example, which is going to be 10 square. This is going to be 10 into 2. This is going to be 10 to the power of 2 actually, guys. Just the only difference it is going to be. It is going to be 10 to the power of 2. And this is going to be nothing but 10 square actually. Like this, we can just work with the way which we are going to be gets working with them, guys. So these are normally just like other languages. Python is going to be having some kind of an additional features, some kind of an additional operators compared with the other programming languages. Remaining things are going to be the same only, guys. So I need not, because I already told you. Here we are not here to become Python experts. So we don't want to concentrate more on the Python actually, guys. More on the Python actually. So we don't want to work a little bit more in Python and don't want to become a Python experts. Here we are learning the Python only to basically to understand that particular data science and machine learning applications only. We are going to be doing this actually, guys. So not more than that, we are going to be learning actually. So we need not to go to internal parts like memory allocations. All these things are not required. We are taking the Python only just for basic understanding. So to implement all our machine learning applications or machine learning algorithms, up to what extent that is going to be required, only up to that extent only we are going to be gets working with them. That is basically the idea behind them, guys. That is basically the idea behind them actually. Okay. So that's it, guys. Next one. So after the arithmetic operators, you have an idea which is going to be nothing but you can see something called as the relational operators. After arithmetic operators, you are, as usually we have other languages, like we are having the relational operators actually, guys. What are going to be the relational operators? Normally we know that equals to. So you know that equals to is nothing but same. So if there are same, it is going to return true. So simply we are having less than, we are having greater than, less than equals to, greater than equals to, as usually we are having a not equals to. Just like other languages, we are going to be having the same notations actually, guys. And you know that these are going to be nothing but when I use a relational operators, they are called as Boolean expressions. So arithmetic operators are used between two numbers, whereas relational operators can be used not only between two numbers, I can use it between two strings also. I can say that hello equals to hello, I can say, but hello plus hello, I cannot say that here, but here I can use relational operators. So they are going to returns, which is going to be nothing but either a true or a false, which generally we are going to call it as a Boolean value actually, guys. Bool, or simply we call it as Boolean. Boolean is nothing but true or a false. So these Boolean expressions are going to return a Boolean value, true or a false. And one more point I forgot to tell you guys, Python is a case sensitive language. If I talk about another point, which is going to be nothing but Python is case sensitive language. So whatever the case they prefers or whatever they have been given, so we have to use that particular language. It's a case sensitive. I'm not saying that it is not case insensitive. It is going to be case sensitive. You have to follow that particular case. Compulsory, we have to follow that particular case. So coming to this particular true and false, it is going to be T capital and RUE in the lowercase, F capital and ALS in the lowercase actually. Actually, I'm not using them as of now, but I can use it actually, guys. This is going to be nothing but relational operators. Normally, you can say it, guys. 10 is equivalent to 10. It's very simple, guys. 10 is less than 10. You can see very clearly 10 greater than 10. 10 greater than or equals to 10, which is going to be true. 10 not equals to 10, which is false. 10 is not equals to 20, which is going to be true case. Simply, it is going to be performing the required, just verify the condition. You no need to write in C language or Java. If you want to write even 10 plus 20 also, we have to write a main program. After that, we have to write in something called as a class. Inside the class, we write a main program, public static void main, or it's void main, something like that. And after that, we'll write the code actually, guys. But here, it is not going to be gets required at all. Here it is not going to be required at all, guys. Directly whatever you want to do, just we can perform that kind of an applications. Done. That's it. This is going to be how we are going to be working with this kind of an applications actually, guys. So see, you can write any kind of a conditions, which is going to be 10 less than or equals to 10, true. 10 less than 10 is going to be false. 10 greater than 20 is a false. 10 greater than or equals to 10 is going to be true case. Like this, we can just work with whatever that particular applications you want to do it actually, guys. That's it, guys. So this is how we are going to be gets working with these Boolean expressions. After that, we have an idea. So these are all simple applications only. That's why I'm not going to be discussing more about them, guys. After that, we are going to be having something what we can call it as logical operators actually, guys. You know what are logical operators? The operators which are basically used for combining of multiple conditions actually. Combining of multiple conditions. More than one condition you want to verify, then what we are going to do? We are going to use a logical operators. Like whenever we talk about other languages, when it comes to logical operators, guys, when it comes to the logical operators, normally in C language or C, C++, if you remember, it is going to be something like, normally I'm talking about that. It is going to be double ampersand, which is an OR operator, sorry, AND operator, two piped line symbol, which is going to be nothing but an OR operator, an exclamatory symbol, which is going to be nothing but NOT operator. This is generally what we are going to be uses as part of our normally other programming languages. But in our Python, it is going to be not like this actually, guys. It's going to be something different actually. So here it is going to be directly, we have a keywords A, N, D, N. We have O or, and we are having NOT not, case sensitive. You have to write in the same case. Whatever the case I have given, you have to follow the same case actually. So it is going to be and or not. These are going to be the case what we have to work with them actually, guys. So when you want to work with multiple conditions, straightforward, guys. 10 is equivalent to 10 and for n is a lowercase. And for example, 20 greater than 10. So you know what is an AND operator says that. So if both of them are going to be true, then the overall condition is going to be true. If both if any one of the condition is false, overall condition is equals to false, and says that both of them must be true actually, guys. True and a true, which is going to be nothing but it's a true case. If any one of them is going to be false, for example, 20 greater than 100. If any one of them is going to be false, then the result is going to be false actually. So like this, it is going to work actually, guys. Now, if you want to check any one of the condition to be satisfied, then we go for OR operator. You cannot write OR in the capital case. We'll get an error, syntax error actually, guys. It is going to be OR in the lower case actually. This is going to be the true case actually, guys. So like this, we can just work with the same operators, what we can say that. Now let us make it as not operator actually. Let us make it as not operator. For example, whenever I said which is AND here, so true and false is going to be false. But here before this, I'm going to be putting a not operator actually. So what it will do now? First, it will make this condition. This condition is going to be false. But not false is going to become true. This is true and this is going to become true. Total condition is going to become true case actually. So like this, we can just work with whatever the kind of an applications you require. We can just work with this kind of a thing, syntaxes actually. Yes. Simple arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators. That's it actually, guys. Straightforward. Nothing much complications are going to be there. Now, how do you work with the variables actually? I directly worked with the constant values, but how do you work with the variables? Normally, just like other languages actually, guys. Simply, it is going to be your assignment operator. So whenever we want to use assignment operator actually, guys. How do you assign a value to a variable actually? Normal, just like other languages, it is just a variable space or without a space equals to the value. No need to write any data type. No need to declare that this is number, this is a string. So no need to do it actually, guys. Directly, we can just work with the numbers actually. Whatever the values you want to work, we can just work and we can see with an application actually. That's it. No need to do any no need to perform any other applications actually. So like this, we can just work with this kind of an applications and we can work with them, guys. But no need of declaration of variables. Now you see, for example, you can say directly we can simply say x is equals to 10 directly. X is equals to 10 over. So in this case, x has been taken as an what type of data type? It will take a data type. Immediately you can say x is equals to some 10.25. It's nothing but it's a float type of data type. So mainly we are going to be working with 4 different types of data types, guys. So I'm as I said that I'm not saying that Python does not support data types. Python supports data types, but we need not to declare them actually, guys. If you talk about the data types, the basic data types, if we work, we are having integer. We know what is an integer, guys, which can be positive, negative without any decimal point. Second one is going to be float, which can be any positive, negative, but which can have a decimal point. And third one is going to be nothing but it is going to be string actually, guys. Normally we know what is an integer. Examples like any number 124, it is going to be 2546, anything, whatever it may be. Float, which is going to be 12.34, 40.35, it can be anything. Generally, when it comes to the strings actually, guys, generally in other languages, basically strings are mostly enclosed within double quotes. And characters are going to be enclosed within single quotes. You know what is a character? It's a single character actually. Generally, single characters are going to be represented with single quotes. And whenever it is working with a string, is going to be nothing but generally will enclose with the double quotes actually, guys. But in Python, you don't have any such kind of a conflicts actually, guys. We don't have such kind of a conflicts. Whether it is a string or whether it is a character, whether it is a string or whether it is a character, whatever it may be, it can be enclosed with either double quotes or single quotes. Both of them are going to be allowed actually, guys. What is the reason? That means why they have been given two options. Why they have been given two options. I'll tell you the things actually, guys. I'll tell you the thing. There is some advantages there. Why we have been given the double quotes and single quotes. But one thing, if you open a string with single quotes, end is also by single quotes. If you open a string by double quotes, end is also going to be double quotes. But we cannot say that half partially single quotes, partially double quotes. That is not a valid case. That means, for example, hello, which is going to be hello, double quotes, valid case. Hello, which is going to be single quotes, both single quotes. That is also going to be valid case. But what is not going to be valid case is, which is going to be nothing but what we can say that it is going to be either both of them is not going to be get supported actually. If starting with single quotes, ending with double quotes, that is not going to be get solved actually, guys. Okay, so that is going to be the basically the idea about this particular one actually. That is basically the idea one actually, guys. So this is going to be what exactly we can talk about this particular applications actually, guys. That's it, guys. And one more is going to be we are having a bool, which is going to be nothing but Boolean, and we already have an idea. It is going to be true and it is going to be false. T capital, F capital, remaining is going to be the same as it is. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, guys, simply I'm going to say that A equals to, I said hello. So if you want to print the things actually, guys, how do you print it actually, guys? Normally we can say print the A. You can, I think it's an older version. It's not allowing now. Actually, it is going to be print the A actually, guys. Or even you can say simply A. No need to say print A. Simply if you say A, that is sufficient actually, guys. Simply if you say A, that is going to be sufficient. No need to say again print A actually. So if you said A equals to hello, you can see that. B equals to, for example, I said welcome, which is going to be in the single quotes. So that is also going to be allowed. Print A comma B, both I can print at the same time, guys. Like C language, we need not to say percentile D, percentile S, no such kind of a style. Directly A comma B. Nowhere you need not to specify the data types actually, guys. Throughout the Python, it's not required actually, guys. Nowhere we have to specify which is going to be the data type actually. Nowhere you have to specify the data type. Okay. So this is going to be nothing but what we can talk about this application actually. Okay. Now the thing is going to be, this is the way. So whenever we want to say, for example, X is equals to true. So when you say true, don't write the true in whatever the case you want to write. It is going to be true. It is going to be T capital, F capital, remaining in the lowercase actually. Print what is X and what is Y actually. Or simply you can say X comma Y also, guys. Simply if you simply say X comma Y also, it is going to work actually, guys. which is going to be the way which we are going to be gets working with this. That is basically how we are going to be understanding this application actually, guys. Okay. So that is going to be what we can talk about this particular applications. But internally, what type of data type it is taking? So as I said that Python internally chooses a data type. We don't choose a data type, but internally Python is going to choose as the data type actually, guys. So if you want to know what type of data type the Python is choosing, what kind of a data type the Python is going to be choosing, if you want to know about that, we have a small function is there actually, guys. Anyhow, later we are going to be discussing more about the functions, but as of now, just hope you all of you have an idea about the function calling, just a function name and just pass some input. If you don't have any idea about functions, guys, I think expecting that at least all of you having a basic knowledge about a programming language. At least what is a function, how to call a function. So if you just know that, that is sufficient, guys. Remaining it's not required actually. So anyhow, I have a discussion about the functions concept in our class. We will be discussing about the functions concept in the class later. So a function is going to be nothing but a reusable code actually, guys. That means somebody has written the code, we are directly using it. You need not to write any code for that. You need not to write any code for that actually, guys. Okay. So simply what we can do here is, guys, I can just perform this kind of an operations. Like there is a function called as what we can say is type. Generally, this type is a function which we are going to use very, very frequently in our coming classes actually, guys. Throughout the Python, guys, throughout the Python, we are going to use this. What is that type? Type is a function. If you pass the required variable or a value, guys, if you pass the required variable or a value, it is going to tell you whether it is going to be what type of data type it is. But anyhow, as of now, it will tell you like this actually, guys. Class integer. Sir, why it is saying that it is a class? Why it is not saying data type? I'll tell you later. So if you want to know what type of data type it is, simply ask the Python. Tell me what you have been taken. A equals to 10. Tell me what is the type of the A. It will tell you that it's an integer type. Immediately you said I equals to 10.25. In other languages, it's not possible, guys. You cannot modify within the same program. You cannot modify like an integer cannot become a string or integer cannot become a float immediately. You have to change the declaration in the same program. We can't do it. But here it is not like that. With just a few seconds before, A is an integer. A few seconds after, it is a string actually, guys. B equals to throughout the Python, guys. Anywhere, wherever you want to use, here we are going to be using B equals to, which is going to be nothing but I said, which is going to be hello. Now you ask, what is going to be the type of the B? It clearly says that it is a string. I said X equals to, X is equals to true. What is the type of the X? Simply it says that it is a bool. What is the type of the Y? Simply it says that it is a bool. That's it actually, guys. So depending on that, it is going to be chooses things actually, guys. It is going to be chooses the things actually. According to the data type, it is going to be chooses, guys. That is going to be nothing but, so which is going to be the same application. So data type is going to be chosen by the Python, not by ourselves actually. Python supports the data types, but we don't choose them actually. Python is going to support the data types. So just for an understanding, we don't use them, guys, but we are having a data type called as C equals to, if you remembered in our maybe in 10+2 standards, we written 4+, which is going to be 5j. So 5i, actually in mathematics, we write it actually as 4 plus 5i, which is going to be nothing but what we are going to call it as a complex data type. In Python, it is going to be j actually, guys. In the place of I, we write it as a j. Print the value of c, which is going to be nothing but 4 plus 5j. What is, we don't use it actually, guys. Mathematician uses it, but we don't use it actually, guys. Class is a complex. It's a complex data type. So as I know that Python is basically designed not only just for only for programming part, even for mathematicians also they want to use it actually. Even for mathematicians, they want to use it actually, guys. So whenever we want to use it for mathematicians, so it may be supporting some kind of a data type like this, which is going to be something like what we can say is, which is going to be like what we can see the data type, which is going to be complex data type. Like this, Python is going to support almost all kinds of functionalities, all kinds of data types, which we can work within applications actually, guys. That is basically the understanding about this, what we can call it as the basics of Python actually, guys. So that's it, guys. These are all just the basics of Python. So in the next class, I'm going to start with something a little bit complicated. So with this, guys, we are going to be just completing all the basics and all the demo classes. So from the next class, we will be starting with the regular classes actually. So your next class will be on Monday, guys. Actually, in this week, only 1 or 2 classes we have been lost. So one class due to some a power failure, I have been lost. So it has been lost for 1 day. And even yesterday also due to some technical reason. So I brought my new headphones actually. So once the regular classes starts, we don't have any, we don't expect that. So because sometimes it may happen, online classes, no. So we'll try to make up regular classes without having any breaks. So we'll be continuing on the Monday's class, guys. So it is going to be Monday's class because there is another batch of people are there who has been joined at 6 o'clock. I think from Monday onwards, guys, you will be having a class at 6 p.m. Anyhow, my team will update with you. So your regular class is from 6 to 7:30 p.m. actually, guys. So because 1 hour class is not sufficient because we want to complete this much course. So from Monday onwards, you will be having 6 p.m. guys, 6 p.m. to which is going to be 7:30 p.m. We already have a group of 5 or 6 students are there. So they will also join along with you from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. So you will be having the class from the Monday onwards, guys. Okay. So that's it for the today's class, guys. Anyone, guys, any questions? If you have any questions, guys, you can just text me or you can just unmute and you can speak, guys. Yeah, that will be created, guys. It's not because it's not yet created. We'll create it actually. Okay. In a couple of days, we'll create them. Okay. It will take some time, Kumar. I don't know when it will be, but it will be take some time. At least minimum 1.5 months. It will take it for the next batch. Almost all 1.5 months will be taking at least. Yeah, after 2 months means it will be available, guys. After 2 months we can have it actually. But I don't know what will be the next batch timing. The batch timing will be 8 p.m. maybe. It will be 8 p.m. because 8 p.m. batch is about to complete. Maybe 8 p.m. batch will be there after 2 months of time. Okay. Fine, guys. Just for today, I'll stop it here, guys. And we'll continue on the Monday's class. So tomorrow you don't have a class. So from next Monday, we'll be having the class. Yes, Kovit. Kumar, you will be having a project. Yes, at the end of the classes, we are going to be having the projects will be there, which we are going to be discussing after the end of the course, actually, guys. Okay. Fine, guys. Yep. Sakshi, from Monday onwards, it will be regular classes. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Fine, guys. So thank you for today, guys, and we'll meet on the Monday's class, 6 o'clock, guys. Okay. Thank you all of you.